Okay, setting up a 3-point light is pretty straightforward. If you have any questions about it, just go to Wikipedia and you'll find a 3-point light manual and what they do there. It's a pretty standard way of setting up light. Some photography books and other things might be a good source to learn how to properly light the scene, and if you're interested in that, I would recommend doing so. For this one, we're going to set up a key light. Now the key light is your main light, so we're setting that up. That's your main source of color and your main source of shadows. The second one we need, let's just rename this first key light. The second one we need is a so-called filler light. Now the fill light shines on the target too, but it shines from a different angle. We're going to adjust the intensity of these later, so I'm just going to control drag this to the side and set it there. The next thing I'm going to do is I need a backlight. The backlight is there to create the silhouette and separate the object, or this in this case the woman, from the background. So I'm just going to grab one more light and do that too. Okay, now we have 3 lights and they're all pointing in the wrong direction except one. Since I want all my lights to shine on her, I'm going to do this in a different way than actually rotating them. Pull this light target. Now I'm going to the key light and I'm going to go to tags, cinema tags, and find the target and click that. Now you see that we have a little target icon behind here, and down on the attributes we have a target object. So I can click drag the light target there and you'll see the light adjust a little bit, and then I can control drag it, the target light, over on the others, and now you see that all the lights have turned towards this. If I move the target, all the lights follow. So now I can point this to roughly the center. And adjust the key light heights a little bit. I'll move the filler light a little bit more to the side. And the backlights, I'll move a little bit back and a little bit up too. I'm also going to move the key light a little bit up. Now that we have set up these lights, we can click render. Let's just find a good angle first. And click render. So now you see that we have many different lights here that are sticking out on her. And it's starting to look okay, but of course the light's gonna miss. I mean, we don't see her legs and so on, and all the lights are equally strong, so it doesn't really bring out a lot of shadow. So let's close that. So the next thing we're going to do is that we're going to go to the fill light, and I'm going to turn down the intensity of it to about 50%. Then I'm going to the backlight and I'm going to do it to roughly 80. There's no like right or wrong here. It's really just try it out until you find a lighting that suits you. I'll go faster as you get more experienced with it. And the key light, I need some shadows. So I'm going to the shadows, I'm going to pick ray traced hard. I'm also going to expand it a little bit. Right now you see we didn't get the legs with it, so I'm going to expand the angle of the light outwards like this, up to let's just say 70 degrees. And I'm going to do that on all of them actually. I'm just going to type in 70 here. And now let's find a good position to render from. So now you see the scene has a little more rendering. You can see the shadow being cast. You can see her kind of standing out, and she has the ambient occlusion on the bottom here. I'm just going to show you quickly how it looks without ambient occlusion. Okay, let's go to settings, and you just hook that off. Go out, click render. Yes, I want to override. And now you see she has no shadow under her. So ambient occlusion gives you really good contact shadow, which kind of enhances all of models. There you see it. It's nice over there. But in this case, we kind of want to have her more of a blue shine, a more cold color. So I'm going to go into the lights, and I'm actually going to go double click the color, find a little blue like this. You can see it kind of changes into your viewport. And in the fill light, I'm not going to pick blue. I'm going to do a little orangey. And hit render again. So now you see the scene has changed. She has a more blue color on her. You can see on here the backlight makes it a lot wider, so we might want to do something with that later, but that's all adjustments. We can also see there's a lot of dark area here, but that's because we haven't adjusted the light, so the spot actually ends here. The last thing I'm going to go through in this session is setting up a camera. Now, you can find a camera by just clicking here and go sorry, and click camera. Now you see I have a camera here. By clicking on this little thing to it, I will jump into the camera. So I want to move the camera to the woman. I also want to have the camera targets roughly where the light targets, so I can actually just control drag the target up. Now when I move the camera, it will always move towards the target. So now I have this camera here, which is good because we want to know what we're going to render, plan the scene a little bit. So what I can do now, I can go to tags and cinema tags, and I can hit the protection tag. This locks down the camera, so I can't move it. When I try to pan it around now, nothing happens. So I have to go out of it again to be able to work in the scene. Now this is good because you want to be able to work in a scene, but sometimes you want your camera to stay put. So with this I can work in the scene, I can go and I can move the key light a little bit if I'm not very happy with it. Move the target a little bit if I wanted that. And do stuff like that. And then click this again and be in and ready to render. And that's basically the 3-point light.